Hello and good morning. Well, that rain lasted for an incredibly long time. So I went ahead and did a few things. We've had some income come in from the farmers coming up and getting water, even though it was raining. They must not have very good options. But if you look, I called and told them that I needed some rock up and down my drive and I needed it to be graded. And sure enough, they came right out. And even while it was raining, they went ahead and cleaned it up. So, wrong side again. I'll tell you. Let's get in and let's go ride up and down it. I have not been up and down it yet. So, we shall see if it's any smoother or any better. Like I said, they graded it. They brought some rock down. Now, of course, this didn't come for free. I had to pay for it, and I mean, they did an okay job. But, there's still a few places where the dirt comes through, and it's still a little rough. But overall, I think it's quite a bit better. Now, another thing that I did is, since it was raining so hard and it was taking quite a while to plant, I went ahead and I went down to the dealership with my planter, emptied the seed out of it, took it down to the dealership, and I said, "Guys, how much are you going to give me for this?" And they said, "Well, we'll give you $800." I thought, well, that's not very much. I said, "Well, I'd like to get another seeder. I'd like to get another one, a little bit bigger one, maybe quite a bit newer." And they said, "Well, we just got one in," and so they showed me around to this one right here, and it is a Kverland, and it, as you can see, is quite a bit bigger. And so I told them the specs on my tractor, and they said, "Well, we're pretty sure it's going to work on there. That should be enough power to handle this one." They said it might be a little bit on the edge side, but I figured, well, if it can't quite handle it, I've always got the Fendt over there, and it's got more power than this one. So if worse comes to worse, I can always use the Fendt. But we're going to give it a try. Things have dried up a little bit. And, excuse me, had to get a drink of coffee there. We're going to see if it can handle working in the field. So we'll raise her up here. Didn't have any trouble bringing it home. It came right home on the tractor, no problem. It might be a little light on the front end, but as far as I can tell, it works just fine. Now, one thing has happened since we got all that rain and it's been sunny. Unfortunately, the crop has really started to grow. So we're going to have to be kind of careful here and try to just nip along the edges of the crop and continue planting. I mean, I did end up with a fairly nice looking stand, but yeah, I'm just going to have to continue planting where I left off, and I don't know if we'll just wait for it all to be harvested at the same time or what, but we'll see how we go along here. So we'll go ahead and fire this thing up, get it in the ground, and see what we come up with. Well, going downhill seems to be doing just fine. Of course, everything that I've ever had issues with has always been on the downhill's been fine, but the uphill hasn't been so good. We'll find out here real quickly. But I think this seeder is going to make a significant difference. At least I hope so. I can only hope so. Again, I just hate driving on an already grown crop, but I don't have a choice, it just happened that way. And so, unfortunately, we'll either have 2 stages of harvest, or we'll just wait for it all to ripen at once and hope that the soybeans don't shatter out. We'll just have to wait and see. We'll go ahead and get this planted up, and yeah, I still have forgotten to get fuel. That was one of the things that was on my list of to-dos that I have not got done yet, so that'll have to come here very, very soon. But I think, again, like I said, you know, we're looking towards the future. We're a little bit more land, a little bit bigger equipment. I do believe that this Kverland will grow with us. Much better than whatever that other planter was. You know, we're so old, the labels have long since been gone, and whatever paint there was saying brand names or anything were long gone. So I think this will be a better deal in the long run. But anyway, I'll get going with this, and we'll see you here in a few. Alrighty, there we are, almost completely finished up, and yeah, I think that worked out really well. I was kind of concerned about the fuel usage, but apparently this thing is fairly fuel efficient because I did not have very much left in the tank. So let's drive over here. I hate driving over any of this, but you know, it just isn't no good place to keep out of it. So we'll just have to, you know, hopefully there won't be lines through the field or anything. Maybe it'll grow right on through. But as you can see, it turned out quite well. Got her planted right away, and now I'm not so sure what to do. Let's get over here by this diesel barrel. We'll get some fuel in this thing right away. There we go. Got some fresh fuel in here, so that ought to make her even happier. But I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do. I have not quite decided. Let's see. Maybe we can put this over here. Let's see if we can move this weight. Slide it up and over. Slide. Turn it. Turn it. Oh, there we go. Slide it over here and take this bag of seed. Move it. Slide it in between. There we go. Yep, that'll work. And then I think this wheelbarrow might be fine where it is. I have not had a chance to use it yet, but I'm sure we eventually will. Let's set this down. Back it up in here. Whoop, too far. Oh, Lord, I hope I didn't break nothing. Well, we'll disconnect it, leave it there, and I do believe that will take care of that. My original goal was to do a root crop. There we go. To do a root crop over here. Just something a little different. But now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not quite sure what to do. I'm going to wait on that just a little bit and decide on it later. That might be another day's job. But like I said, as you can see, We now have this completely planted. Let's check the grass over here. I believe the grass over here is ready to be cut again, so that is something. Instead of jumping over it, I guess I could just open it. I believe that's something we're going to go ahead and do today, is go ahead and mow that grass. Well, I guess get right back on this thing again. We'll go ahead and mow that grass down and get it all put together, maybe even bale it, and see what we come up with here. Oh, no, that one will not hook up to this. I guess I am going to have to use the bigger one. Well, that's okay. Maybe we'll hook this on to the tether. Maybe it'll work on the tether. As we will have to do that after. Yes, it will hook up to the tether. So that's a positive. We'll just leave it right there, ready to go. We'll go in there and get that all nice and mowed up. Ah, there we got her hooked up good. Okay, so now we'll go out there and I guess first of all see if this thing can handle this. I don't know, haven't used it yet, so I really couldn't tell you. I know it's not brand new. It's got some hours on it. Not near as many hours as the tractors, but it does have some hours. Let's see if it'll fold down. Yeah, it will fold down. Well, here's the real test. Let's fire her up. It fired up just fine. Let's see if it can move. Oh, looky there. Got a nice swath going already. Well, we will get this mowed down and hopefully everything will look really good. I think and I do believe that it will. So I will continue mowing and I will see you here in a few. Alrighty, there we are. The last piece right here. I think we can get it all. And that mowed up very, very nicely. I'm very impressed by how well that mowed up. So I think that's going to be some good hay. Now I did notice I had two different types of grass in here. I never noticed that when we were picking up the bales, but then again they had mowed it already. So apparently there are two different types of grass out in this field. So we'll have to take that into consideration for the future when we're doing other things. But that's okay. That's okay. It definitely doesn't hurt it. Alrighty, so now to back this back in here. Oh. Nope. I don't do it that way, am I? What am I doing here? This is a little on the tight side, but I think we can manage in the long run. Oh, there we go. There we go. We're good now. Oh. Boy, I need to work on my backing skills with this thing. I am not used to backing it up. That is for sure. So let's see if we can put it right back here in the corner where it was. I'm just glad that this tractor was able to handle it and do a mowing job with it, which is excellent. Okay, let's disconnect it there. There we go. And then, yeah, we'll go do some tedding. I think we'll just pull this forward and shut her off right there. There's enough room to get the Eicher through and go ted this up. Oh, looks like my tedder could use some repair. I again haven't ever used it, but I think it'll work for this time, and then we'll repair it on another rainy day here. Let's see if we can get this unfolded and turn it on. I think this will work just fine. Alright, let's get this all tedded up so that it can get to drying real good. I'm sure if I repaired it, it would operate maybe a little bit smoother, but you know, for just today, it'll operate just fine. I think it'll be just fine where it is. So I'll go ahead and get this tedded and secure it. Alrighty, there's the last of it tedded. So we can turn that off, lift it up, fold her up, and go put it back into the shed. And yeah, that actually, it looks like there's a fair amount here. I'm impressed with how much their potential could be. But we'll go ahead and put this back into the shed. And looks like we're going to have to do some repairs on it here in the near future, so we can do that at another time. But we'll get it tucked back in here in the corner. I think in the long run I'm going to rearrange this shed eventually. Make things a little bit easier and more organized, but you know, for the time being it is exactly the way it was when I got here, so yeah, it works. Let's get this moved out of the way. It always seems to be in the way, or something always is. There we go. back her up right where we've been keeping the hiker. There, that ought to have her well out of the way. Okay, there we go. Let's go ahead and get onto the pottinger and get it hooked up. Yeah, it hooked up just fine. Good deal. Well, we'll go ahead and get this windrowed up, and then we will bale it and see how many bales we get this time. Last time we had one shy of a full trailer load, which I thought was impressive at the time, but maybe I'm wrong. There we go. We'll turn her on, set her down, and let's get going. Oh, a little close to the hedge there. There we go. That's looking real good now. Oh, and this needs repair too. My word. Well, for having newer equipment, it was nice, but it looks like they did not do very much maintenance. So, looks like there's going to be quite a bit of maintenance that's going to have to be done here in the near future. But that's okay. That's okay. We can maintain things, and for now, this actually works very well. I like the setup that I have. Maybe in the near future, it'd be nice to have something a little bit bigger, but you know what? We've just got this one field at the moment, and unless I'm planning on getting a whole bunch of fields more, than this one field, this should be enough to keep us going. I mean, I don't see why it wouldn't be. So we'll make sure we get all this hay all raked up so it can be baled up, and we'll go from there. But at least the forecast for the next few days is looking good. We had that rain. That rain really helped out the stand of grass that we cut down, and yeah, I'm like I said, I'm thoroughly impressed with how well it yielded. Well, I'm gonna have fun following that, ain't I? Well, that's okay. We'll just keep kind of circling inward. I'm sure this machine can run a little bit faster, but I'm having to take it slow because, you know, it just doesn't pick everything up if you don't. I'm sure good maintenance would help. We'll see. Alrighty, well, I'm going to go ahead and concentrate on this, and I'll see you guys here in just a few moments.
What a way to go. What we don't know isn't worth a dime, and we nail them all. I know you're the worrying kind. Is there any way, or do you like not being found? In time the light will fade. Don't you know I worry about you all the time?
Once again, we are at the end of this one, so not the greatest job I've ever done, but it'll do. We've got it all nice and windrowed up, and I shouldn't have much trouble getting the baler to pick it up. So again, very, very happy and pleased, but I do see that maintenance before we use these again is going to be required, both on the tedder and on the windrower, so that should not be too big of an issue. Oh, that's right, that thing's got an axle that moves. Always can't ever seem to remember that. But the axle on that moves with the vehicle. It's not stationary. It's going to make this very interesting for backing up. So let's see if we can get her done. There we go. At least it's not as hard as backing up that bale trailer. Well, that worked out just fine. I'm not quite sure if that is ready to bale or not. I'm not quite sure. Let me see here. Boy, it sure feels awful moist yet. So we're going to leave this for another day to bale up, just to let it dry out a little bit more, make sure that that's good and dry so we don't have a bale fire. But for now, I'm going to hop off here, and I will talk with y'all a little bit later on.